On this episode of The Process, we're going to talk about the designer's dilemma, what it means to be a graphic designer in the 21st century. Here we are in 2016, a lot of forces in play right now. In particular, the reason why we're having this conversation is, I'm wondering, do we have to make this choice? And the designer's dilemma is, do you eat and do soul-sucking work and sell out to a corporation, or do you starve and be happy being an artist? Is there a middle ground? I don't know. Stick around. Let me try this again.
I want you guys to listen to me.
Yeah.
I design sandwiches. My name is Jose Caballero and I talk about the designer business. I talk about a lot of stuff.
My name is Chris Doe and I talk about the business of design.
At the center of this operating system, it's about understanding.
Jose, can we just tell them what the show title is?
I hate you, dude.
You are watching The Process. All right. Okay, so we're back. Aaron and I get into this conversation. We talk about this all the time, like, how do you bid your job? And we talk about the differences between how we bid our jobs. Because Aaron's also a professional cinematographer and editor. He shoots people, weddings, whatever. He shoots everything. And so he's like, well, I guess I'm the kind of chill guy. People come to me because they know it's not going to cost too much. It's not going to be stressful. It's low key. So I try to charge this. Let's just say he charges $5,000. And he says, well, what do you think when they come to me and ask me to do the same job? Same exact client. They're like, well, you're like, what did you say, Aaron? How do you characterize me?
You're like super professional.
I'm super professional, so then I'm going to charge you $50,000 for the same exact work. And he said, would they accept it? Probably. And then do you know what I do? I just hire Aaron to do the work. So then Aaron puts 5 in his pocket, and if you do the math, I put 45 in my pocket. Now, what's the difference between him and I? If we're just two regular guys, no company, no nothing, what's the difference? What do you think that is, Aaron?
That's also
This
how
Aaron.
business works.
That's his default answer.
Michael, why do you keep saying that?
That's how business
That's how business works.
That's how business works, just what you just said. 5:45.
I know, but he's laughing because you keep saying that.
I know.
So
No, that
why
makes
do you think
sense.
that is, guys? Why do you think that is? And we should have a conversation about that, because maybe something I'm going to say is going to mess you up, or maybe you'll just hate me. That's fine.
No, I just think you were bold enough to ask for that. That's it.
Bold.
That's it. I mean,
There's no
shit,
value there?
This is my value, you know, and he just underestimated himself. He left money on the table.
Well, he is 20 years in.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah, I do think there's quite a few
experience.
factors.
Experience of going through that. I mean,
Perfect.
There's more
You got to
than
pay
just
for
one
the
factor.
studio. Somebody's got to pay for
Yeah.
the studio.
Okay. Studio.
I got 2 kids. Right?
As Caesar says, peace of
Kids,
mind.
that's an extra 10 grand right there.
at least, come on. Okay.
yeah, I mean, if you're talking about not just being just regular guys and asking for the same thing, but because you have a studio and overhead in addition to that, you're going to ask for that
Okay.
out the gate.
What did you
You're
say?
gonna ask for that.
I said peace of mind.
Peace of mind. That's interesting. I think you've touched on something. You're making my spider sense tingle. Peace of mind. Okay. So bold, experience, overhead studio, kids and all that stuff. People don't care. Peace of mind. Any other reason why somebody can charge a lot more than others?
Along the same lines as peace of mind, that people are willing to pay for trust.
Trust. Okay, that's another word for
Right.
peace of mind.
So, right, so your space, your business, your history, all factor into trust.
History.
Yeah,
Okay.
trust is good.
Let me ask you this question, okay? Let's just say all this is gone. I'm working on my house. In the same house that Aaron works out of. And I go to meet the client. I'm going to ask him for the exact same number. So now what's the difference?
Well, I still can trust you because of your essence.
I appreciate that.
Possibly.
No, you already said it's cool. It's on film. Don't worry. It's
I
on.
wouldn't.
Go on.
But I potentially could still trust you with your confidence, personality, and business sense
Experience.
and persona.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you guys this question then. She said personality, all these these very intangible things. This is good news for you guys, because you can't say you have 21 years of working, because you can't. That's like something you can measure. So what is it that I can do in front of you and with you to let you know you can totally trust me? Take away the portfolio. I don't need it. Burn it. I sold it. I signed a non-compete clause. Can't even show it. I sold the company. I'm just me now in a car, just like you. What do I have to do? What is it?
Well, I think you believe in yourself, and so now I believe in you.
Okay, how do I show you I believe in myself?
Passion.
And thank you for saying that.
Passion.
I'm guessing, right? So eye contact, posture, voice.
So Aaron's like looking at the floor. He's like cold, wet hands. You know, what are you talking about here?
I mean,
Aaron, drop your hands before you talk to people, all right? Will you do that? Sweetie Castle comes in, all right, I'll do it for 5.
Because you were talking about dating before, so isn't it the same? I mean, I guess it's also a fine line too, but there's the element of game. I mean, you don't want someone that's gonna swindle you, but you want someone that has their life together.
Their stuff together.
Life together.
Totally. How do you know that though? Do you guys think about this? If you're, looking at a girl and you're single, what are you thinking about? And if you're a woman looking at a man, what are you thinking about? Like, what does that person have to say, do, or what is it that, if you guys, I'm going to tell you the answer. It's not like I'm torturing you on purpose, sort of. But what is it? Like, you guys ever think about this? Like, why can Paul Rand, God rest his soul, why can he charge $1 million? Why can Saul Bass charge $1 million? Why can Michael Bierut charge a lot of money? And that same designer that actually drew the logo in his shop cannot go out and get that same thing. And if you strip it all away, what is that thing? Rachel, do you know?
Communication.
Communication?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean communication?
Michael's shaking his head no.
No matter what you say, he's going to
whatever
shake
I
his
say,
head.
it's going to be opposite.
It's all right, okay.
Right.
What is it?
So it's, again, comes down to trust. The more you communicate about and reflect to your client, I feel like you'd be able to connect with them more.
How do you earn trust? Go ahead, Caesar. I think you might have the answer.
Do they know how much they're worth? I mean, they know how much they're worth.
The client?
No, the Saul Bass.
They know how much they're worth?
Yeah.
I think they know how much they're worth.
Yeah.
So I would just say that
Confidence? Is
that
that what
they
you're
know
saying?
that that's how much they're worth, and they're not willing to go down or.
I'm not sure this is true, and I don't know, obviously. But I meet people all the time, completely randomly, and I talk to them, and before you know it, we're going to do business together. No name, no reputation, no internet, no nothing. We're just going to have a conversation. So it's really about what I say.
Right.
Maybe a little body language, maybe a little eye contact, but what is that thing? Vanessa, I feel like you know. Can you hand her the mic? She knows. And somebody else here wants to say something. Go ahead. One second.
Right when you were talking, it's the connection right away, because I know for me, I always have that, and it's just amazing how people will connect with you immediately and then refer you to other people right away. It's something it's not the name, it's not the confidence, there's something more to that, and I cannot pinpoint it, and I don't know why I was shaking my head now, but there is something there, because I've built up amazing rapport and business relationships just on meeting somebody on a whim and being introduced by them from somebody else. It's just, I think, the genuine, and there's something somebody can see through that and being genuine. Because it's, for me, when I connect, if I want to talk to Nelly Ben-Hayoun, it's genuine curiosity. It's not to elevate myself or just try to put that person on my roster of friends, but it's to actually learn and be curious. So I think there's that, just going back to being genuine and not being, no false pretenses. And bringing that with a confidence, bringing that with, how you present yourself, that's all there, but you can be a great presenter and all, but there's that key thing. If you don't have that genuine element, for me, I found that it's not trustworthy.
I always heard that the more people you help, the more money comes into your pocket. So it's about empathy. I think it's like if you really want to help people and you're really serious and, like you said, genuine about trying to help them with their problems, then you actually make more money doing that.
Okay, go ahead. What's your name?
Christian.
Christian.
Yeah.
Hey, Christian.
What's up?
Oh, you know him?
Rachel?
Yes.
It's a plant. Go ahead.
All right. So you just have to just be confident. Just confidence is just tell them who it is. It's like going up to the girl. Like you have to be confident. You can't be slouching. Like, hey, what's up? You have to be, what's up, girl?
I'm gonna try that with my client next time. What's up, Nike?
No, but you just have to go in there confident. Just know who you're talking to. You just have to just, go in like 100% to like, you want to have like, sexual relations with the person. You kind of hint at it a little bit. Like, hey, da 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 da. You get to know them, So just go into there confident. So that's what it is.
Are you a confident guy, Christian?
Sometimes. Try to be.
He's ready to dispel the confidence advice, and it's like, no? Okay, let me ask you, what do you do, Christian? Are you a designer?
Yeah, well, I just started. I started working at a printing shop like 3 months. Damn, man.
Very nice.
Teaching me a bunch of stuff. Just stuff from school that you just didn't think you were going to use, and you're like, whoa. Okay.
So you're a recent graduate?
Yeah, just graduated.
Okay. Let's you and I like do a little role play.
All right.
All right? You have a staff job somewhere? At a
Yeah.
print shop? Okay. Let's just pretend like you don't have that job right now. You're on the prowl. Yo, girl. Okay, right? And I'm your girl. Let's just talk a little bit, okay? I'm a business. Hey, I need a logo. Can you help me out with that, Christian?
Of course.
How much do you charge?
$5,000.
Okay. Done. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's it? You just left $45,000 on the table.
Also, I mean, gotta be
mean,
confident.
You know?
Yeah, I get
Okay,
you.
so what's the difference between what just happened right there, you guys? He was ready to close.
No
He's
negotiation.
just going to close. What did you say?
There's no negotiation.
No negotiation.
Okay.
There's no discovery.
But that comes from experience, like Michael said. Like, if he had experience and gone through a client before, he would have been like, he probably would have said like 20 grand.
well,
And, you know.
to me, it was
Is that
like,
all that is?
it was empathy again, right? I mean, Christian was only thinking about himself. Like he said, $5,000.
Yeah.
And that's what I want,
Yeah,
right?
He wants to
Instead
have
of he's
sexual
asking-
relations.
just wanted
I know,
not thinking of the value
but he's
it's
not
gonna
thinking
create
about
him.
what Chris wants. What does Chris want? Who is he?
No, it's about the value he's going to receive.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that there should be always questions. Right?
Yeah, there should be more questions, of course.
So you should have asked more questions to figure out the value.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
That's the beginning of where I'm going with this.
got you.
absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to have dialogue with each other. And I know this. If I meet a person, I don't want them to talk about themselves very much. I want a person who's into me. I want them to know about me. And so how you elevate yourself, I genuinely 100% feel this in my heart. Some of you guys may not agree with me, but the way you demonstrate your value is by the quality of the questions you ask. Now, it takes some experience to learn what kind of questions to ask, but if I gave you my playbook, you could do much better than you did today. You can be taught some of the questions, but the questions really dive into what you know and what you think about. So let's play a game. The game is this, okay? Try your best to diagnose for as long as possible without prescribing until you can't take it anymore. Stay in the diagnostic phase. If you think about every professional relationship you've ever had, doctor, mechanic, carpenter, pest control, dermatologist, the hairstylist, whatever, the person that spends the most time learning about you, your needs, your wants, your dreams, your hopes, whatever it is the person you will trust the most. Because they're not quick to close. Christian might be premature in that department. He's the closer. He's like, boom, yes, girl, done. Sex when? How often? Boom, blah. You know, it's like, I'm there. I'm totally good. You understand what I'm saying? So try to stay in the diagnostic phase for as long as possible. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to become the client. Think about yourself as a client. Whenever you go somewhere, whether it's at the pharmacy or whatever, and somebody's talking to you, take note of the person you feel more connected to than the person's like, it's over there. 2 pills.
Right.
Surgery. Oh, you need a new engine. What? How do you even know that? Oh, I know. I'm going to get a second opinion. So trust begins by you trying to understand that. And this is where, here's a tip. You have to remain neutral and detached to the results. There's a term, it's kind of like one of these oxymorons, like you have to be passionately detached. 2 crazy words put together. Because if you're detached, you're just like Sleepy Castle, like, oh, I don't know, this and that. You have to be passionate. I'm going to help you. I want to genuinely help you. But I'm going to stay out of the results. Think about it as you advising your best friend, your mother, your uncle on something to do. And you stay out of the results. Generally speaking, if you do your job, They're gonna say, gosh, you're just like really knowledgeable. You know all the right questions to ask. You made me think about things I've never thought about before. I guess I didn't need the logo. I need a website. I have $200,000. Why don't you do it, Christian? And what would you say to that? Christian? Yeah, good. See, I just tested you though. No, I maybe you didn't understand. I was setting a trap and you didn't walk into it, sort of. You walked sideways, right? I was going to say, if I said now, Christian, that's incredible. I don't want the you're right. I have a $200,000 website. Would you like to do that?
All right, so what's it about? So, nah.
You're hilarious. Oh my God, this guy's like all over the place. So you just want to engage in dialogue, all right? That's it. One of the biggest things. So we think, as a community, you have to have the name, the awards, the studio, the portfolio, whatever it is. Those are all just excuses, I think. When you have to look inside, you have to start to believe in yourself. All things can happen once you have that mastery mindset. I really believe that. Now, some of you are sitting there, yeah, whatever, dude. So those are you guys that are like, no, that's not true. It's not going to work. Let's hear from you guys so we can get a little bit more of a dialogue going, yeah? When I mean a dialogue, I mean a fight. But that's code word.
Dialogue.
So I coach a group of people. They're about 130 strong right now. And no matter what I say, I've told them this information. This is why I know I just didn't make it up on the spot. They're still sitting there, no, because you have this, because you've done that. And just, why do we believe we need some other thing, some other external form of validation to then go and see that we're worth something? Because I know I'm saying this and it seems to make sense to some of you, and some of you are like, it's not going to work. Because you've done that, you've had this attitude. I'm going to share a story with you. I've not shared it before. My wife reminded me of this story. I think we're about a year and a half into the business, ups and downs. And literally we're coming off one of our lowest points. I had a couple of friends that worked for me. I had 3 months runway at that time. This is a year out of school starting. I had no experience. About 3 months of runway. I came in. They were all women. I said, girls, I'm out of money. There's no new jobs. I've tried everything I can do, which wasn't much, to drum up new business. Nobody's calling. Our 2 biggest clients already left us. We're done. So you guys go find a job, live your life, do whatever you need to do. By about Christmas time, we're out of money. I'll pay you right now in advance. This is all the money I got. Okay? And God bless them, they're my friends. Like, nope, we're going down with the ship. I'm like, there's no point. The ship is going down. Save yourself, Rose. Save yourself. But they sat there, and you know what we did? Every day, they'd show up at 10 o'clock, come into my studio, boom, in downtown in the brewery. We'd sit there, and we'd play Pictionary all day long. It was an amazing time. I love that time. Then we'd go to lunch. We'd go to Baja Fresh, whatever it was. And then eventually it's like, he wasn't kidding. There's no more work. We haven't done work in weeks. We've done nothing. We've just looked at each other and made dumb jokes all day long, right? And so they left. So now I'm kind of in this low, but I still have money. I'm just saying as a company, I just can't go into the red. So I'm done. And we're sitting there, and lo and behold, the phone rings. It's like, oh, okay. Now somebody that I helped out in school, this is about paying it forward, who I did some work for free. She recommended us to somebody else, and then we did their logo and identity system for money. And then they got a job for Buick. And this is when they were spending money on commercials, okay, for Buick. This was many years ago. And then they said, we put you up for this job. We know you're really good with design and typography. Like, that's cool. So this is like 2 relationships removed now. And so they called us up and said, meet us out in Alhambra, like next to Bob's Big Boy or some burger place. We're out there, I meet with the director and we talk, and she starts saying some things about what it is that they want. I asked lots of questions. I said, oh, okay, I think I know what you want. Now, it just so happened that 2 weeks before, one of my friends introduced me to this guy named Dan Coney. And Dan shot optical titles. You guys know what I mean when I say optical, like with a real 35mm camera with film? He would move it and expose and move and expose and do lights and all. It was really cool. And as a digital kid coming out of school, not exposed to film, this was really amazing. So I sold him on this idea. We're gonna shoot your titles. It's gonna be amazing. It's super organic. Light field, it's gonna move like this. And she's like, that's pretty good. I went back home. I popped in Dan's reel. I digitized it on the Avid that I had. I cut it up. I put the parts together that I thought were relevant. I sent it to them and said, does this look like something? Yeah, we want to do that. How much will it cost? This is where it's going to differ between you and me. There's already a couple of points that are different, right? How much is it going to cost us to do? I did not sit there and literally think, well, Dan charges this. It will take a day and a half. Well, that's this rate times this, and I want to make a little money on top. I just said, I went $48,000. And you're sitting there, where'd you get that number from? I did a very scientific approach. I went like this, I went like this, and I did like that. Right? And I said, that's the number I want. Because I don't want my runway to be a week, 2 weeks. I just want to make enough money.
Right.
If I can get it, I don't have to work for 6 months. Here's the crazy thing. He said, yes, we did it. I paid Dan. So I was just a broker of this kind of stuff. Because Dan doesn't know Pam, Pam doesn't know Dan. They don't know each other. This is, Michael, what are you going to say?
That's how business is
That's
done.
how business is done. Hashtag, that's how business is done. Okay, please. Somebody at least do it once, right? That's how business is done. And we did this. So my girlfriend then, now my wife, was like, how do you do this? You're crazy. You're insane. You sold work that you didn't do for a price that it didn't cost. What's wrong with you? Let's go eat. Where do you want to go? Now you're saying because of experience, dude, I was like 22 years old. I barely worked for anybody. And here's what I boiled down to. Here's another little nugget I can share with you guys. Is I was too stupid, too young, too cocky to know what the rules were that I'd even play within the rules. It almost feels like the more you learn about how things are supposed to work, the more you start to sell yourself short.
Right.
Sometimes dumb is good. I don't think you have to make a choice. You should be able to do the work you love and make a ton of money, but you do need to acquire different skills. I define doing good work as solving a client's problem. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes it doesn't. I don't really care. I'm like the Terminator, John Connor. That's it. That's all. Like if I can solve your problem and hit it out of the park for you, make you feel great about the process, I consider that a home run. If you do that enough times, you start to work with higher level clients and they keep trusting you and they give you more. And somebody had asked this question, like, how do you do work that you're not qualified to do, that you don't have a portfolio to do? Well, how you do that is you have to have a client that trusts you. This is usually where the leaps of faith happen, where somebody trusts you because you gave them great customer service on a crappy job, they know it. Michael knows that they're beautiful people, and it's like, oh, Michael, we got a stinker, will you do it? And he's like, yeah, I'll do it, I'm gonna nail this for you. Oh, they got this great big thing, they trust him. They're gonna give him that thing. Like, we had such a great experience. Now people, you guys may not realize this, but people do not hire the best designers. They hire the people that can assure them, make them feel like it's gonna get done. That's who they hire. And generally speaking, there's an expression. It's better to do the deal with the devil you know than the one that you don't. So in the case with Michael, she knows Michael will do the job. And he did it with alacrity. It was a stinker of a job. He did it with enthusiasm. He was happy to do it. Imagine if she gave him a great project. Do a good job, build the relationship.
That's what clients want. They want security.
Absolutely. And that's how businesses work.
Security. And that's more psychological than design.
Done. Business is done.
That's how business is done. I'm sorry.